My only wish. A brief announcement, if you will. The easel broke, the wooden one over there, so I'm going to ask Nityananda Pran if we can purchase a new one, but in the meantime, that one's a little fragile. So when you're moving the board, if you can be real careful, one, if you look at it, it's stronger than the other one, so try to use the one that has thicker aluminum tubes, and hopefully we can get the new one. Hare Krishna.
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपीजना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Srimad Bhagavatam. Can you ask our over-enthusiastic, overzealous preparers to be a little quiet? I can hear his voice all through. This is Canto 6, Chapter 19, Text 9. Shriyam Vishnum cha Varada Ashisham Prabhavavubhau Bhaktya Sampujaye Nityam Yadichet Sarva Sampadaha. Thank you. You wrote this? Can you write it a little darker? Because by the time people sit there, it can't see distances. Okay. Shriyam Vishnum cha Varadav Ashisham Prabhavavubhau Bhaktya Sampujaye Nityam Yadichet Sarva Sampadaha. Shriyam, the goddess of fortune. Vishnum, Lord Vishnu. Cha, and Varadao, the bestowers of benedictions. Ashisham, of blessings. Prabhavao, the sources. Ubhau, both. Bhaktya, with devotion. Sampujayet, should worship. Nityam, daily. Yadi, if. Ichet, desires. Sarva, all. Sampadaha, opulences. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Did Daita read 7 yesterday? text for 7? Because there's no purport. Okay, text number 8. Okay, text number 8. Shukadeva Goswami continued. After worshipping the Lord with all the paraphernalia mentioned above, one should chant the following mantra while offering 12 oblations of ghee on the sacred fire. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahapurushaya Mahavibhuti Pataye Swaha. Swaha. Text 9. If one desires all opulences, his duty is to daily worship Lord Vishnu with his wife Lakshmi. With great devotion, one should worship him according to the above mentioned process. Lord Vishnu and the goddess of fortune are an immensely powerful combination. They are the bestowers of all benedictions and the sources of all good fortune. Therefore, the duty of everyone is to worship Lakshmi Narayana. Purport. Lakshmi Narayana, Lord Vishnu and Mother Lakshmi, are always situated in everyone's heart. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hriddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. However, because non-devotees do not realize that Lord Vishnu stays with his eternal consort Lakshmi within the hearts of all living entities, they are not endowed with the opulence of Lord Vishnu. Unscrupulous men sometimes address a poor man as Daridra Narayana or poor Narayana. This is most unscientific. Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi are always situated in everyone's heart. But this does not mean that everyone is Narayana, especially those in poverty. This is a most abominable term to use in connection with Narayana. Narayana never becomes poor, and therefore he can never be called Daridra Narayana. Narayana is certainly situated in everyone's heart, but he is neither poor nor rich. Only unscrupulous persons who do not know the opulence of Narayana try to afflict him with poverty. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shlakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Do you know where the term or phrase Daridra Narayana came from? There's a famous personality by the name Vivekananda, and he's the one who coined this phrase, Daridra Narayana, because his, I guess, appeal to the people or his ideology was this, that God is, rather than say that God is in everyone's heart, the impersonal philosophy is that everyone is God, right? Because there's a world of difference between God in everyone's heart and everyone is God. And so he said, why do you feel that only the rich people are to be worshipped or glorified? What about the poor people? They are also Narayana. They are Daridra Narayana. Daridra means impoverished. And he took that ideology even further, that all the poor, wretched, untouchables, they're all Daridra Narayana. Because it was not a spiritual message actually, it was a very socialist message, right? because some section of society was feeling, we should say, abused or looked down upon. So socialist message is what that brings everyone to the, oh no, everyone has equal rights, like that, socialist message. So he said, well, they're also Narayana, Daridra Narayana, except that they're poor. This is Narayana who's a beggar. And then he said, why are you wasting so much amount of milk, ghee, honey, all yogurt, all these things you're pouring on a stone idol? Rather, all those things, if you had used to feed the poor, how much benefit you would bring to society. Makes sense, no? No, it doesn't. But anyway, that was his appeal to people. He became very popular because people think, oh yeah, what's the point of pouring all this on the stone statue? It's just your sentimentalism in the name of worship. All that is anyway, so much is going away. If you fed the poor people, so much you would get. You will see people fed nicely, they will be happy, they will be nourished. And he's the person who said, why are you wasting water on a Tulsi plant? What do you get from Tulsi plant? Nothing. If you had poured that water on an eggplant plant, you'd at least get eggplant. People can eat. But you can't eat Tulsi leaves, but you can eat eggplant. Very practical, very socialist. And Prabhupada is heavy. He calls them unscrupulous. Because they forget something. They forget that Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi, they are the seed of the universe. They are the basis of the universe. And if you take care of the root of existence, then all the other parts and parcels are automatically satisfied. Consider this. Suppose we had a building like this, where everything looked, let's say, about similar. And there was nice lunch, breakfast, dinner, and everyone was being fed well. Do you believe that, and the only difference is there's no Kishore in that building. Do you believe that people would be as happy as they were in this building? I'm making a big assumption that people are happy. Just humor me for the moment, okay? Let's just assume for the moment. Yeah. Is it the same? No. The reason, of course, food is very satisfying, no doubt. But prasadam has a whole different effect on one's consciousness. Just if a bunch of people are fed every day, something that will happen is that there will be bickering, there will be fighting, quarrel. But each of us being so different, even if there are disagreements, we try to work it out, or at least say, oh, it's okay, let's see what to do. It's because there's Krishna in the center. And each one of us, to whatever degree possible, is trying to serve Kishore. And it is because of that there is something other than some otherworldly experience. We may not be exactly able to point our finger to, that's what it is. Just a bunch of men and women cannot live in a building and eat together and say, we're very happy. It doesn't work like that. Because Kishore are there. Prabhupada's established. Prabhupada's sitting there supervising everything. So there is a whole difference. So to remove Lakshmi and Narayana from the picture and give a very socialist kind of message, you serve humanity, everything will be fine, has absolutely no meaning. It sounds fantastic, but there's no substance in it. So then Prabhupada's saying, the verse particularly is saying, and Prabhupada's impressing upon us that Lakshmi Devi and Narayana, they're always in the heart of all living beings. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. Brahmayan yantamayaya yantra Ramayan. My brain's not working. Yeah, that's the last line. Jantra rudhani maya. Brahmayan was one phrase. Basically that sitting in the heart, they are directing the living entity as he moves from one condition of life to another condition of life. As if the yantra is a machine. This body is a machine and it is taking us from one place to another place. And along with the soul, super soul is also there. So one may say it says super soul, here it says Lakshmi and Narayana. Is it the same thing? So is Krishna ever devoid of or absent with his energies? The very fact that he is called energetic, Purusha, means his Prakriti is always with him. You cannot separate energetic from the energy. Actually, this other statement is probably right. You can never separate the energy from the energetic. This whole material world is working, is Krishna's energy. One may say, where is Krishna? He's everywhere. He's in every atom. And therefore his energy has certain manifestation. Prabhupada would say, the CEO or the owner of a factory, he is sitting in his office somewhere. But the entire factory, not just that factory, but maybe factories in different places, in different countries, but everyone is aware that he is the owner and that the factories are moving by the energy of the owner. He may be sitting anywhere, it doesn't matter. It's all his energy. So one may say energy. Yesterday I heard Daita, before I couldn't stop coughing, so I had to leave. But yesterday Daita was saying, when we hear the word energy, what comes to mind? Huh?
Wait, what did he say?
When I use the word energy, what comes to your mind? Electricity. Scientist? What comes to mind when you hear the word energy? Power times time. What comes to mind? No, something comes to mind. Nothing comes to mind at all. Mind's not there only. Haribol. I know. Mindless scientist. What does come to mind? Energy. There is a source from where it comes. Okay. Yeah. It's another word for energy. Fire or heat. Another scientist. Whoa, say it again. I won't even be able to repeat it. That transforms? That transforms something from one state to another. Mostly from rich to poor. Because after studying so much, all you become is poor. It transformed us. Energy. That which gives, it has something, the word energy is something to do with agitation, something to do with life, activity, power, potency, right? What else? Force. May the force be with you. Yeah, force. Force. So these are, now we use the word energy because in English there are certain words that cannot be translated from Sanskrit to give the most accurate picture. Okay, for example, in Sanskrit there is a word rasa. And Prabhupada writes that you cannot easily translate the word rasa. So you use the word mellow or a taste, right? In the Nectar of Devotion introduction or preface, Prabhupada, you cannot translate the word rasa so easily. So we use the word mellow or a taste in something. If you do something, you get some taste from it, that is rasa. So like that, energy, Krishna Shakti, the only way you can best describe it is use the word energy or potency. Potency has even more description to it. Potency, it's the power of something that the person has. Now, that potency manifests in different ways. There's a creative potency. It's an ability, if you will. So Krishna has these energies by which he can create anything. He can destroy anything. He can sustain anything. He can, the sense of gravity, buoyancy, pushing, pulling, attraction. Money has a particular power in it, right? Electricity. These are all Krishna's energies. How they work? These are material phenomena that the laws of nature are built according to those phenomena. There is electricity everywhere. There is magnetism everywhere. But we never knew it. Some persons figured out that if you pass an electric current in a direction like this, you get a magnetic field in this direction. It's not like they invented it. It was already there. So potency means the ability, in one sense, if you say. So Krishna has all these abilities. And when we have those abilities, what do we generally think? I have those abilities. We don't have, because spiritually speaking or philosophically speaking, we are not Purusha. We are not the sources of that energy or potency. We are actually one of the potencies. But we are that type, the living entity is that type of potency who can misthink or misunderstand himself to be, or herself to be, the source of that. So Lakshmi and Narayana are there in everyone's heart. They're directing. Actually, it is described, yesterday he used the word amurta, when it is not manifest. I have to ask him where he got that. So when Lakshmi Devi, she's always residing in the heart of, or sitting on the chest of Narayana. So you see, whenever Lord Narayana is described, even including when Krishna is described, they talk about a little white tuft of hair called the, what is it called? Chest hair? No, it has a particular name. Srivatsa? Srivatsa. It is an indication of Lakshmi Devi sitting there. So it's described that when anyone comes and they offer their obeisances to Krishna, Lakshmi Devi glances upon them. So they become opulent. Now only the difference is sometimes people have a particular desire for one opulence, they get another opulence, and they may not be satisfied. Someone may come to Krishna and pray, "Can I have some money?" And he blesses with the opulence of tolerance. Even if you don't get it, you learn to tolerate. And they say, "Man, that's not what I wanted." Or they come to pray for the opulence of money, and he gives them the opulence of renunciation. Here, take it. But she's glancing constantly. Krishna and Lakshmi Devi are glancing at every person who comes to them. So everything that we need, this was described, the verse, word to word. I like to jump into each word. Shriyam Vishnum Cha. Shriyam means Lakshmi Devi. Vishnu, of course Lord Vishnu Dev, Cha and Varadao. In Sanskrit, wherever the word ends with au, au, it means two, together. Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahoditau. Together, two. In Sanskrit, in English, we have singular and plural. Correct? In Sanskrit, you have singular, dual, and plural. So, together. Cha Varada. Varada means wherever you hear the word or the, it means to give. Subha da. Varada means to give blessings. Vara means the best of. Right? Prahlad Maharaj called Hiranyakashipu Asura Varyam. Varyam means the best. Varada means to give blessings. So you too are the givers of blessings. The next word is Ashisham, of all the blessings. Prabhava. Bhava means to be. Prabhava means to be the source of it. Where does Krishna say? Aham sarvasya prabhava. I am the source of everything. So here the word is prabhavau. You're together. You're the source of everything. Ashisha prabhava ubhau. Together. Side by side. So all blessings source from Lakshmi and Narayana. So people go to different other quasi sources for blessings, but they don't have the ability. The demigods don't have it. Other people in this world don't have it. Only the Supreme Personality of Godhead has the ability to give blessings. Bhaktya, by devotional service. Sampujayan. Sampujayan means one should worship. Nityam, daily. Yadi, if one ichet, desires. Sarva, all kinds of sampada. Sampada means opulences. So what kind of opulences does one desire in life? Why does one need any opulence in life? So I'm going to ask you the question. To enjoy. Okay? That's a good point. One needs opulence to enjoy. To offset our misery, which is another way to say to enjoy. What else? Why does a person need opulence? That would be nice if one uses it for Krishna service. That would be really nice. Huh? Why does a person need opulence? To be happy, to enjoy, to offset one's misery, to have a sense of self. Explain that? Uh-huh. If one doesn't have, when you think opulence, don't necessarily think like this rich, abusive fellows. Not like that. Opulence means, what are the opulences? Strength, beauty, fame, knowledge, renunciation, wealth. Wealth, of course. Why do we need this? Gokulananda, why do we need this? Very good. To attract other people. Because these are attractive. To be able to live in this world, we need these things. Without these opulences, whether we have little bit or a lot, without these six, one cannot interact with the world, with others. One feeling attracted to, suppose all the living beings on this planet do not get attracted to any other living being. What will happen? All living beings. The end of animals, insects, the birds and the bees. Even the bird becomes a brahmachari, and the bees become brahmacharis and say, no more queen bee, nothing. No more. The world cannot move. If the bees say no more wealth, we will all stop going to the flowers from today. We don't need any wealth. No wealth and no strength. Prabhu, can you please walk from here to there? There's no movement. There's nothing happens in this world. So these opulences are necessary. And thankfully, Krishna is very kind in sharing them with us. The only thing that he asks is, please don't think that they're yours. Just because a man is sitting at a bank, he's a teller. And, during the day, his smile on his face is very big. If he thinks, what is this? What a wonderful job. I'm sitting in this one tiny place. So many people are coming and giving their money to me. And there's so much money that I can't even count in my hand. I have a machine that goes, the numbers look 100, 200. Very nice. So much money is coming to me, coming through my hands. There was this joke that, in India, when you are trying to see if a young woman and a young man have a match, then the astrologers, they do a little horoscope analysis. So when they were meeting this young man, the girl's side, they had their astrologer, and his analysis was, very good match. Because this man, his whole day, he's so rich that whole day he's counting money. And so the girl's side thought, wow, what kind of a son-in-law we will get. He was counting money all day. Must be really rich. So they got her married to this man. And then she found out that he's a teller at a bank. He's counting money all day, but none of it belongs to him. So one cannot think, because so much money is passing through my hand, this is mine. Then one gets bereft of all opulences. Now these are material opulences in one sense, if you want to see it. For a devotee, we need certain opulences. It's the opulences of those godly qualities. That is, the soul has these 26. Lord Chaitanya gave 26, the Bhagavad Gita gives 20, like different clusters of lists here and there. But all these qualities, they're the qualities of the soul. And we need those. Why do devotees need the opulence of these qualities?
Because if you were, let's say, looking for respect and people don't give it to you, then you'll be mad all the time.
If you don't get the respect, you'll be mad all the time. Okay? But why do we need the qualities of humility, tolerance? It attracts Krishna. Okay? More specifically? Exactly, to serve Krishna. Because we cannot bring money to Krishna and say, what do you think? Are you attracted by the $100 bill? He's going to be like, what are you talking? Or even gold. Krishna, you see this gold coin? What do you think? Krishna's oral can only be served by Vaishnava qualities. So the qualities or opulences are needed for service. And Krishna has to allow for, in proportion to our bhakti, for those qualities to be fully manifest. Because it is by His potency that those original qualities have been covered. And it is by His potency that those qualities will be uncovered again. Because we are parts and parcels of Krishna. I've been thinking about this example. Where the Mayavadis say, a drop of ocean water and ocean. There's no difference. The ocean is salty. The drop of ocean water is also salty. And when the drop enters the ocean, they say what? It becomes the ocean. So I've been thinking about it. I haven't gotten too far, but as far as I've gotten, I think I like it. That a drop, our philosophy is that we are qualitatively one with the Lord, but quantitatively very different. I cannot say that all the salt that exists in the ocean exists in the drop. I can say the proportion exists, maybe. Although scientifically density of salt may be different in different places. But let's say salt. However, whatever happens in the ocean doesn't happen in the drop. You don't have big waves. You don't have the living entities like the whales and sharks and flora and fauna. Flora? Are there any flowers in the water? No flowers, maybe. I don't know. Deep sea something. The corals, the fish, the different living entities. They're not in the drop of water. Tsunamis don't exist. So, although we have similar qualities as the Lord innovative himself individually is full of so many other things, other qualities that we don't have. But we say that we have at most 50 qualities, at most. Krishna is 64. And each quality in its fullness. We don't have them in fullness. But essentially these opulences are necessary in order to be able to interact with the Lord. If we don't have bhakti, we cannot interact with Krishna. What people think they're interacting with Krishna is not real interaction. Without bhakti, one may come in front of Kishore Kishori or the lordships and say something. But that's not interaction. So real interaction only begins when there is bhakti, and bhakti means with all these characteristics, these opulences. So it's important to know the Lord in the heart versus saying that everyone is God and that Lord Narayana can become daridra, poverty-stricken, no money, full of debt. Although as a pastime he is indebted. You know that story of Lord Balaji. That temple gets the most money because apparently he is in debt and is trying to fulfill the debt. So his devotees help fulfill the debt. But he's never in debt. He never had shortage of anything at any time. Neither in the past, nor right now, nor ever in the future. So, in summary, the point is that Lord Vishnu and Lakshmi Devi, they bestow upon all living entities the opulence that is necessary for the living entities to interact with them, to serve them lovingly. And God has a unique position. At no point in time can he become old or poor. He can never become poor. Although he is sitting in the heart of the poorest person on the planet, he does not become poor. He may be in the heart of the worm that is passing through stool, but he does not become contaminated because he's aloof from all of it. And this itself is the uniqueness of the personality of Godhead. That is why he is God. That is one of the reasons why he is God. Okay, you want to offer any comments, questions? Chaitanya Priya?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I'm wondering, as you said that Lord is aloof from one's material condition. So when a living condition is under the material modes and he is offensive to other devotees or to Lord, means Lord is not affected anyways, but is it he teaches the living condition to correct him? What is the reason to correct him? Like, I mean, thinking about the example of Shishupal, like Lord Krishna is never affected, but whatever he is saying and whatever he is doing, but still he needs to be corrected. So why Krishna corrected Shishupal and other entities?
If you read that section of Krishna killing Shishupal, it's a very sweet section. So it's described that Shishupal was given a blessing by Krishna because he was Krishna's cousin. And Shishupal's mother was Krishna's aunt. So he told her, 100 offenses I will forgive. So one devotee explains that that Shishupal, he knew this. So every time he would meet Krishna, he would not go beyond 99 offenses. And then he would shut up. But when he came to the Rajasuya Yajna, he forgot his count, you know. Sometimes in our Japamala we think, is it 8 or 6? 8 only, I must have. So he forgot 99. He went on to the 100. And while he was making 100 offenses, you know, Krishna was just totally cool because he's sitting on that wonderful seat anyway. But the rest of the people were becoming restless. Who was becoming restless? Everyone, especially the Pandavas. And it is Maharaj Yudhishthir's fire sacrifice. You see the picture? Bhima is ready with his gada. Sahadev, who actually spoke at the assembly. You know the story? Everyone knows the story? Okay. When the question was raised, who will be the guest of honor? Everyone kept quiet. The youngest in the assembly, Sahadev, he spoke. He said, what is there to ask? It is Krishna. He has all this, he glorifies Krishna. And all the elders, they say, very good, sadhu, sadhu. Krishna. One person, after all the speech was made, spoke up. Shishupal. He said, what? Why is Krishna? And then he goes into his counting of blaspheming Krishna. And it's described that Shishupal intentionally did not interrupt Sahadev. Because if he interrupts Sahadev, then it spoils the whole fun. He wanted to speak after Sahadev. And he begins with, what is this young fellow? Arbhaka he uses. Arbhaka means immature fellow. Why are all these grown-ups in the assembly listening to this immature young boy? And then when he goes on in his tirade against Krishna, all the Pandavas are becoming restless. Bhima is picking up his gada. I want to squash this fellow's head. Arjuna is becoming restless. Everyone's with their weapons, getting ready. Then Krishna considers, oh, my devotees are becoming very disturbed. I need to do something. And then he thinks that if Yudhishthira or any of the Pandavas kill Shishupal, then they become contaminated. They cannot do the yajna. So Krishna sent his razor-sharp Sudarshan Chakra that cut off Shishupal's head. Then Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives explanation that when it was such a razor-sharp cut that not even a drop of blood fell on the ground. And the way Krishna did it was such, why blood did not come? Krishna understood that this is sacrificial arena. It's very pure. Yudhishthira Maharaj has taken Diksha to sit there and do the yajna. All the Brahmins are there, the sacred items are there. And if blood is strewn, then the place becomes contaminated. You cannot do this yajna. So Krishna separated the head without a drop of blood for how you do. Shishupal was taken out, thrown away. Swaha, they began the yajna. So Krishna did it. It's described because he saw that his devotees are becoming very restless. And it's going to become almost mayhem. Because they were about to take it into take action. Like, what is this? How can you speak about Krishna like that? And he also warned Shishupal. Now the interesting thing that Parikshit Maharaj asks is, what is this? He was so blasphemous that everyone had to close their ears. But what happened? Shishupal's soul left his body, hovered, and entered Krishna's body. That even for such a person, got liberation. So we were speaking in our Bhakti Vriksha, just was Thursday night, that Shishupal, Kamsa, Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, they were all very Krishna conscious. Only thing was they were not favorably Krishna conscious, but they were very Krishna. They were thinking of Krishna all the time. All the time. See, in part of envy is also love, just distorted. Because in envy you're always thinking, why is he like that? Why is he like that? Why is he like that? That person is occupying your mind all the time. It's just distortion of love or anger or whatever it is. So very Krishna conscious, just not favorably. So he got liberation. That is Krishna. Okay. Karunanidhi, Prabhu.
Yeah, just to add to his question, that he said, you told that his Krishna is not affected, something. You used to add affected. That Prabhu, there is a nice verse. You can remember that Namam karmani limpanti name karma phalespura iti mam jo vi janati karma vrishana
Chapter 4,
baddhati.
text 14.
Yeah, there is no work that affects him or nor binds something. So that means Krishna is not affected by any karma, karmic reaction. He is beyond that. And that's how to add.
Okay. You have something?
Hare Krishna, thank you for a wonderful class. I like classes like this because these are always principles I like to keep in mind all the time. You were mentioning the point that when someone asks Lakshmi for opulences, like money, physical money, she may award you the opulence of tolerance. You'll have to tolerate if she doesn't give you money, or renunciation. So this reminds me of chapter 13 of the Bhagavad Gita. It says actually who is rich and who is poor. The word dairija, it describes that those who have good qualities are actually rich, and those who are dissatisfied with life are actually poor. And this reminds me of something His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj mentioned. In one class, he said that even if you have all the money in the world, if someone insults you, you can't think, you can't eat. You're always meditating on revenge. So you're actually poor despite having a lot of physical wealth. And this reminds me of one point that Prabhupada, I was actually reading this verse beforehand, something I appreciate Prabhupada that I read a few weeks ago in the Bhagavad Gita Chapter 14, verses 22 through 25, where it describes the different qualities of how to transcend the most material nature. Prabhupada mentions one very nice point. He says, a transcendentally situated person takes everyone as his dear friend who helps him in his execution of Krishna consciousness. And he does not hate his so-called enemy. And from the lesson I kind of got from that is that, in regards to this point, is that if we didn't have enemies, then there's no meaning to the word mercy, forgiveness, tolerance, if we didn't have enemies. And so these, you see everyone as your friend. So this reminds me of a verse in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, chapter 8 actually, I mentioned it several times before. It says, Akinchanaisa dantaisa shantaisa samachetasa mai sentu shamanasa sarvasukamai dishaha. One who does not desire anything within this world, who has attained peace by controlling his senses, who is equal in all conditions of life, and finds satisfaction in me only, Krishna says, that person can find happiness wherever he goes. And in the purport, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, when a wealthy person travels all over the world, he will enjoy the same standard, luxurious standard of comfort. So one who is wealthy in a wealth of Krishna consciousness finds happiness wherever he goes. So whether he has some enemies coming towards him or whether he has a friend, it's all the same. It gives us an opportunity to display our, qualities, the opulence, our riches. So these are some of the points that I appreciated.
Thank you. It's described that the wealthy person is he who has everything that money cannot buy. He's the real wealthy person. A person who has everything that money can buy, they're not wealthy. Because the wealth is not money, it is satisfaction or whatever the qualities that one has. It's the qualities by which a person becomes wealthy, not by what they have in terms of possessions. Because what they have in terms of possessions will go away. What they have in terms of spiritual qualities will stay. They will stay in all conditions. Money will go away. Money doesn't stay in all. And look at us. We all have the experience that money is not our friend. But qualities will stay.
Devotees, there was a magazine and the devotees had, what's the other thing there was in the Krishna, had his limits before Krishna would annihilate him. He has insulted Krishna like, I'll have to look it up. Rohini, I think.
Jai.